that could make Bayonetta blink. As an action game, it's fantastic. As a Metal Gear game, it's fucking ridiculous. Snake jumps off of an active missile launched by the Hind D just so he can get a good shot. When Metal Gear Rex activates, Snake's first line of offense is to attack the giant fucking thing head on. What the fuck did he think he was going to accomplish there? But by far the most over-the-top part is when Kenneth Baker tells Snake he forgot Meryl's Kodak number.
Sorry, I forgot. Damn.
Jesus, Snake, calm the fuck down. It's not something I find offensive. I'm not that much of a die-hard Metal Gear fanboy who can't dare to look at a different interpretation. But if you're into the more down-to-earth tone of Metal Gear Solid, where magical ravens appear out of thin air, random cyborg ninjas show up, and having the ability to destroy a tank with nothing but grenades, Twin Snakes may make you raise an eyebrow.
You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?
But updated graphics are only a part of what you're getting. All of the new gameplay features introduced in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty were implemented, leading to a sort of hodgepodge of the two. I'm going to go more into detail on what those updates are in the Metal Gear Solid 2 review, but I can say right now, they absolutely break this game in half. They didn't change the level design to accommodate the new features, so Snake is kind of overpowered now. Being able to drop down ledges and hang on rails is another means of avoiding detection. The ability to shoot with guns in first-person mode, this right here breaks the game by itself. And they give Snake new tranquilizer-based weapons, so he can put guards to sleep from a distance without having to kill anyone. The AI was given upgrades as well. They can spot Snake from further distances and different altitudes, and they can beef up security if they see something suspicious or see one of their men down. Yeah, bodies don't disappear now, so if you put someone to sleep or kill them, you gotta do something with that body if there are still other guards around. But even if you do that, their superiors over the radio may notice something's up when they don't get a response from their team. Twin Snakes has all of the workings to make an intense stealth game, but the foundation it was based on didn't have all these new features in mind. And without retooling that level design, the result is a very easy version of the original Metal Gear Solid. But it can still be a great time. Hey, they even fixed some of the backtracking problems I had in the original. You can pick up a sniper rifle much faster to deal with Sniper Wolf, and changing the temperature of the PAL key can all be done in the same room now. Thank you. It's definitely worthy enough to place inside your Metal Gear collection, but don't lose sleep if all you have is the PS1 game. It's also not cheap for an old game. I spent around $50 to get this, and I can't find it at a lower price anywhere else. Man, it's been a long time since I made 2 hefty videos in a row. I think I'm out of practice, and we're not even halfway done yet. But maybe things will get easier next time with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night. And take care. Substance brought back the VR missions, and now there's over 500 of them. Whew. If you loved them last time, they're about the same as before, so have fun placing Raiden and Snake in a plethora of different win conditions. And the more you do, the more options you unlock. You can sneak around in Snake's sneaking suit from Metal Gear Solid 1 with the tuxedo, always a fan of that. You can even unlock a Grey Fox ninja suit for Raiden, complementing his new sword. Or you can have Raiden streak around bare-ass on his way to the Quad in Gymnasium. Taintfoot! Substance also brings these Snake Tales. It's like an alternate continuity to the events of Metal Gear Solid 2 where Snake ends up doing all the work. I don't remember the part where Raiden had to take a picture of a Godzilla soldier, though. There's no codec conversations, and story sequences are summarized with these static text screens, so no cutscenes either. It's a way for the players to experience Big Show and other events without having to use Raiden, if you don't like the idea of controlling someone other than Snake. You don't have a Soliton radar, though, so they're also much harder than your normal playthrough. I like these, but it just isn't the same without codec calls and all that, you know? And the Soliton radar spoiled me. I can't easily adjust to not having one, especially with the fixed camera angles. And just a reminder, the original PS2 version of Substance has the skateboarding minigame. You can pop an alley with Snake or fall out the edge of Big Show for the 16th time. It's your choice. As a game, Sons of Liberty is more of the tactical espionage action that Metal Gear put on the map. It's more important than ever to sneak around the place thanks to the upgraded enemy behavior, but additional means of infiltration will offer you new ways of giving an enemy the slip. That said, it's not much different from Metal Gear Solid, and the adventure feeling familiar is a large theme of the plot without spoiling anything if you skip the summary. And it makes sense in that regard, but in gameplay, it's a different beast. Metal Gear Solid 2 doesn't reinvent the wheel like how Metal Gear Solid 1 polished assets from Metal Gear 2. It's more like Metal Gear Solid 2 takes what Metal Gear Solid 1 had and gives it a new coat of paint. There are differences, but most of it is cosmetic. It's safe to say lovers of Metal Gear Solid will enjoy how Metal Gear Solid 2 handles if you're not looking for any major changes, besides the obvious one. But with how much Metal Gear Solid 2 stresses on story and how it strongly ties to previous events, you gotta play Metal Gear Solid 1 beforehand. I can't recommend this to newcomers. I don't think it's a good starting point. You can always skip the story, but we're talking about the biggest part of the whole package, and MGS2 is not a very long game. I would say it's around 4 hours, like last time. The Metal Gear Solid series is something you play for both the story and game. To skip either would be missing the whole idea, and that couldn't be truer here. Oh, Christ. I'm getting closer and closer to Sonic 06 territory in terms of video length. I think I'm going to start packing more coffee and booze. Yeah, but maybe things will get easier next time. Even just a little. I'll find out with Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. With that said, thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night. Take care. To the next destination so you can never get lost. It sort of gets in the way when trying to look out ahead though. The radar isn't transparent, and I know the thing shows me what's around me, but I like to get a visual confirmation that isn't always the case. It's a small thing to point out, I should stress, but I felt it was warranted. Avoiding enemy contact is really what it's all about, and once again, if you're so much as spotted, that's an instant game over. It gets tense at times. This is a fan game that tries its best to get the formula right, and I think it works. And it also tries to have fun with combat too. Use your Novocaine to temporarily knock the fuck out of children. Just the idea of Solid Snake beating the shit out of a kid to get past something is hilarious. You can even blast them in the face with a non-lethal Nikita missile. Now, the only joke I don't think hit its mark was the lampooning of the sniper rifle bit from Metal Gear Solid. How many fucking times am I gonna have to bring that up? At one point far into the mission, Snake has to travel all the way back to the start to get something he left up there for progression. And they play it for laughs, I'm down with that, but it's still a major black mark on the game's pace. It ends up being more of a straight example rather than a parody. Other than that, Metal Gear Solid 2 works off the strengths of the Metal Gear series to deliver a short, yet fun stealth game that's full of holiday cheer and a bunch of laughs. Comedy's all subjective, I'm aware, but even without the plot, this is a cool fan game that's clearly filled with the love and passion of a Metal Gear fan. If you haven't already, go download the game, give it a try. Again, it costs nothing. All you need is a computer, and everyone's got one of those, right? So like I said before, I plan on having the Snake Eater review done sometime before the new year, so at some point next week, keep your eyes out open for that. In the meantime, I hope it's going to be a joyous holiday for you all. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I don't care what you celebrate. I hope it's all a good time for you all. And if you get any Christmas money, you know, maybe consider investing in the Metal Gear franchise. I don't know. Oh, actually, no, wait. It's the Steam Winter Sale, isn't it? You're probably better off going there instead to get more bang for your buck, most definitely. But whether or not that's the case, I hope you guys all have a joyous holiday. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, Christmas holiday, and take care. Should probably take the beard off first.
Deck the halls with cardboard boxes, lolly-lolly-ho-ho-ho. 'Tis the season to love foxes, lolly-lolly-ho-ho-ho. Don we now our stealth apparel, lolly-lolly-ho-ho-ho. So Kojima's Yuletide carol, lolly-lolly-ho-ho-ho. Lolly-lolly-ho-ho-ho.
What was that? Just Mark's posing behind you. Merry Christmas to every one FMV quality. It's like 12 frames per second, Jesus Christ, and no, playing it on the new 3DS XL doesn't enhance performance. And at first, the 3DS control scheme was super fucking awkward. With every other version of Snake Eater, you're using a controller with 4 shoulder buttons and 2 analog sticks. The 3DS only has 2 shoulder buttons and 1 analog stick, so workarounds had to be created. The face buttons control the camera. That's right, the face buttons control the camera. Now, personally, I don't get why they didn't just restore the camera to its fixed variety like the original rendition of Snake Eater on the PS2, where camera control wasn't needed and therefore freeing up the face buttons for action commands, but they were insistent in keeping the free-roaming camera even for Snake Eater 3D. The D-pad is used for context-sensitive actions and for entering a crawl position. The shoulder buttons and touchscreen are used for everything else. CQC, weapons. The best I can tell you is that it was something I got used to, but it took some time. I think playing Snake Eater on the PS3 beforehand didn't help my muscle memory. Even when you use the Circle Pad Pro or play it on the new 3DS XL, the face buttons are still camera control. Snake Eater 3D incorporates third-person aiming, if shooting on the first person bothers you, I suppose, and crouch walking. Would you believe that something like this, something that would be integral to a stealth game, wouldn't be incorporated until Metal Gear Solid 4? Yeah, it took them that long, but man, is it an awesome addition and great for keeping you out of sight. It's a great middle ground between sneaking and crawling. You're not sticking your neck out so obviously, it's a comfortable walking speed, and your camo index remains at a reasonably high level. It makes the game easier, I think. You want to know what sort of breaks it? The new photo camo feature. With your 3DS camera, you can use the pictures of whatever you snapped to make brand new camouflage for Snake to wear. And with the right photos, you can easily get your camo index to 100%. If you don't know what that means, it means you're practically invisible, even if the enemy is right on top of you. That's right. I'm not really here. I'm a snake. It's an ambitious effort, but it's not the way I would play Snake Eater. This is a heavily story-driven game. One I don't think translates well into the handheld scene. This isn't something you play in short bursts. There's no such thing as short bursts in any sense with Snake Eater. It's got long cutscenes, codec conversations. You don't put the 3DS in sleep mode during all that. It's important shit. Maybe if it were more mission-based, but that's not the case. Snake Eater's not a portable game. It's meant for a console. But if you have no other option, it's still a good version of the game. Just don't take it on a bus ride to work. You'll never finish it. 2016 is upon us, and I plan on making a special video to commemorate such an event, but I promise now, even greater things to come. We're at the halfway point of the Metal Gear Marathon, but next time isn't Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm making a slight detour to the handheld scene. No, it's not Snake Eater 3D again. I'm talking two games here. Metal Gear Ghost Babel for the Game Boy Color, and Portable Ops for the PlayStation Portable. 2016 begins with more Metal Gear, and I'm excited to head into new territory here. I never played these games before. Well, with all that said, thank you guys for watching. You have yourselves a fantastic night and a happy new year. Without designing around it. Gameplay, it gets a little better about that. Scenarios are broken up into stages now. It helps you gauge your progression, and since you're able to save your progress at any time thanks to Mei Ling, pausing during game time isn't so much a problem. Ghost Babel is pretty much Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the Game Boy Color. I could save you time just by telling you to go to my game summary on the Metal Gear Saga video, but I can still quickly summarize here. You got the top-down perspective, the radar showing enemy locations, and you can crawl on the ground and under things. You're now capable of moving in 8 directions, an awesome addition if you ask me. Movement is very fluid, and the added diagonal directions let you find shortcuts through enemy routes and all the areas you're sneaking around in. You're also able to hug against walls now like you could do in Metal Gear Solid, but I didn't find this necessary on a 2D plane. The guards have peripheral vision like before, but the design of the GLF Fortress is very broad, and the overhead perspective lets me see up ahead already. The only major problem I had was with the fucking dogs. They're so damn fast and persistent, but thankfully only used in 1 or 2 major areas. But look at this, running in a bush maze with a bunch of dogs on my ass is like I'm playing fucking Pac-Man. This game doesn't do much new in stealth, the weapons you can use, and the threats you face. Unfortunately, because of the hardware, it also brings back those shortcomings involving item management and the like I suffered from in Metal Gear 1 and 2. The keycards stack at the very least, so I don't have to fumble with the select button and the D-pad too often when opening doors, but it's still an ongoing pause fest when equipping other items. I also noticed that Ghost Babel is the most puzzle-driven Metal Gear game that I've played so far, and I welcome it. There's nothing wrong with a little brain teasing now and then. You got a puzzle involving finding the right pattern to open these 5 doors, a bizarre conveyor belt maze with cardboard boxes and finding the right pathway, and this shimmying puzzle near the end that makes no goddamn sense. Apparently Snake can't turn a tight corner when hugged against the wall. Why can I only go in a straight line during these parts? You see, I'm only looking for the right way to go, and now I gotta turn back because that right there is a no snake zone. This isn't a bad game, really. It's just more of Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, a game I recommended if you recall. They were able to squeeze a game like that into a Game Boy Color cartridge, and that's cool. There's even over 180 VR missions to give you more to do after the game ends. It's not the end of the world if you miss out on this one. It's not tied to any of the games because of its alternate continuity, and it's nothing you can't already experience in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, besides the 8-directional movement. That was a great add-on. It's about as good as Metal Gear 2 in my eyes. Not exactly what I would call a starting point, but still a decent game. You die-hard fans would definitely want to give it a try as long as you're willing to shell out above average prices for it. It's no Shantae, but it's still a bit pricey. I'm bummed that the story wasn't as fulfilling as it could have been, and that's the most disappointing thing about this. It's the plot that's usually the driving force of a Metal Gear game. It was too big for one title, I think, but a continuation is very unlikely at this point, and Ghost Babel unfortunately suffers as a result. And with that said, if you plan on watching both videos, I'll see you guys for the portable ops portion of the two-parter immediately following this. If not, then I guess I'll see you guys for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots for the PlayStation 3. With all that said, thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care. Or see you soon.
He'll have you at a low.